And the inner sanctum is open. Wanderer.
Yeah.
Doc.
Here.
And I too am here, and all is well. Welcome everyone back to the Sanctum Sanctorum. I am your illustrious host, Widow's Son. With me are my two awesome co-hosts, Dr. Cyrus Oblivion and the Wanderer. And today we are joined by two very special guests. Once again, we have Bonk joining us again, great friend of the show. And we are also very honored to be joined by Splicer87, a YouTube gamer whose videos are absolutely awesome to watch. I've been catching up on his channel a little bit here and there, and it is definitely a lot of fun to watch. And we're gonna have a lot of fun today. Basically, what's going to be happening is today is the final part 3 of our art. Separation of the art from the artist discussion. I've also sent the link out to Stu Dog, which shout out to Stu Dog. Much love to him as always, and hopefully he'll be back very soon. Also, I want to, as always, pay respect to my YouTube mentor, Sir Hatman. If you are lurking, and speak of the devil, I didn't even finish getting it out of my mouth. Also here with welcome, mentor. You are welcome as always. If you don't already subscribe to my incredible mentor, Sir Hatman, please go and hit that subscribe button for him and get the notification bell on. He is a gentleman and a scholar, and always a pleasure to talk to. Everyone, how are we doing today?
Pretty swagger.
Fine. Yeah, I'm good.
Splicer, thank you for coming on and joining us today.
Thank you.
So I can see that you're by the look of your channel, I can see that you're clearly as obsessed with New Vegas as Wanderer is.
I mean, it's a very interesting thing. So I've been playing Fallout since at least I'd say only 2011. I just suddenly got into it from Fallout 3, and yeah, I've actually put more hours into 3 and 4 than New Vegas.
Well, okay, well now here's my Fallout story. Basically, Wanderer kept crawling my ass, telling me you need to play New Vegas, just all the time. So, well, I started playing Borderlands 2. I'd never played Borderlands before, and everybody kept telling me Borderlands 2 is so much better. Don't worry about the first one, just play the second one. I'm like, okay. And then when I got that, he's like, you need to get New Vegas. And finally I went back. I went back to visit my mother, and I went into this used video game movie store there in town, and I bought it. And I took a picture of it and I sent it to him, and I thought he was literally going to shit his pants. He was just so excited that I bought this game, and I've maybe played it for an hour, if that. I was telling him last week that I got the urge to play Wolfenstein because I like to kill Nazis in Wolfenstein. I'm gonna say that. And then I finished it, and then I was going to get back onto Fallout New Vegas, and I saw Wolfenstein New Order, and I'm like, okay. So you're twisting my arm.
That's kind of interesting, though, because I got to tell you my story behind New Vegas, especially New Vegas, because this was around actually 2013, 2014, I think. It was a little bit later after the game came out. And basically, I obviously was still underage. I couldn't buy the game at a GameStop, and my mom was like, "Oh, well, I don't want to pay for this game for you, but I happen to have some allowance money left over." I was on a trip with my school for something, and we had to stop at this mall, and there was a GameStop there, and I had to just ask this older guy. I'm like, "Hey, could you please buy this game for me? I'm obsessed with Fallout. Can you please?" And he's like, "Fine, bro, freaking chill." I was like, "All right, whatever." So I come home with this game, and I'm just nerding out to my mom, and she tells me to shut up. All right, whatever.
I don't have time for all this noise.
I love my mom, but she's heard plenty of me talking about video games over the years. Oh man.
My heart can only take so much.
Oh seriously.
Bonk, how have you been, man?
I've been fine. Nothing to report.
Come on, pal. You gotta have something.
I couldn't even. Nope.
I actually that last episode you were on, I went back and I listened to it the other night at work, and honestly, I'm like, yes, we have to have him back. We have to have you back on more because you just kind of get our sense of humor around here most of the time.
Well, I don't know if they've told you, but they call me the funny guy sometimes. Actually, all the time. It's the kind of the thing.
He is the funny guy.
That's my
funny man.
One of
funny
my
man.
many titles.
You'd be like Rocco from the Boondock Saints. Start calling you the funny man.
I've only seen one clip of that show.
You've.
I know. No.
I'm gonna have to kick you off the show now.
Give me a.
I'm gonna bust your balls for this one.
Don't even start with that.
Busting the balls.
I'm gonna bust your balls, pal. Okay.
Are you
Alright.
fucking shitting me,
I
man?
haven't seen the show. Piss about it. I don't know.
All right. Breaking news.
No.
Okay.
Hang on. Hey, Wanderer,
Yeah,
you cool?
Shut up, Wanderer.
Yeah, Wanderer, you cool your jets, pal. Okay.
Hey, man, I'm just trying to talk to you, buddy.
Slow your
You got a
roll.
problem, Buster?
No, I mean, if you've never seen this movie, you really have to see. It's set in Boston. It was actually filmed in Canada, but the premise of the story is in Boston. And it's about these two Irish brothers who.
Oh wait, yep, the police one. What's it called? I know what you're talking about. I think.
It's called the Boondock Saints.
Oh wait. Oh no.
Yeah,
never
you
mind.
may have been.
I
when
thought you meant
said
this.
episode
I thought you
earlier,
meant-
were thinking of Boondocks.
I thought you meant the show.
No, I'm talking about the movie, The Boondock Saints.
Oh, what was I thinking about then?
The Boondocks, probably.
No, not that. Like the other one. Let me look it up. But keep going.
I'm just busting your balls, pal. That's all.
You're
I'm
busting
doing.
my chops.
Yeah, man. Piss about it, maybe. Why don't you whine? Yeah, why don't you whine and cry a little bit more, huh?
Shove off, poser.
Wanderer, what's been going on with you, buddy?
So, turns out, after all this time of thinking I wasn't invited to it, I was actually invited to the Halo Infinite flight, but I never received the email. I'm fucking pissed.
No way.
So now I'm downloading it, and hopefully I'm gonna play it later. Anyway, that's what's been going on. I've been working for like most of this week. I just finished my first like Fallout lore video in like a year. So yeah, everything's going good. Apart from Halo. So
Okay, who
fucking
keeps
wanna read
burping
this.
into the mic?
That was me.
Okay, we've had Doc do it, and now we've had you do it.
I muted myself for mine. Does that count?
Yeah. Why don't you show some fucking respect, man? like Splicer here. He's being respectful. I mean, come on.
Trying my best.
Yeah. Don't make me have Bonk go off on you.
I'm gonna
I
get
will
Splicer
go
to
on an
splice your ass.
tirade.
All right.
Bonk, if at any time you hear me say the words "get 'em" to you, I'm just gonna shut up. He's like a caged animal.
So, I mean, I don't know if you guys have been watching my videos recently, but most of the time I do generally try to censor myself for YouTube.
Well, see that brings up an interesting point. Well, if anyone's interested, I'll
That's what
I actually just had to put my car in the shop. Like, well, I got it back, but I just had to put my car in the shop.
Mine is in the shop.
Do what?
Mine isn't. What's that from?
It's a 5-star
Oh,
reference,
yeah,
boys.
I haven't
Come
bought
on.
one yet.
Yep. Anyway, I found out what I was thinking. I was thinking about The Departed.
You're way off base, pal.
I'm the first baseman.
Who's on?
You don't play for the
Who's on
Sox.
first?
I don't know you.
Who's
Nah,
on first? What's on second?
I don't know who's on third.
Classic.
That's pretty good. What's this link I'm looking at? I'm not gonna click it.
No, me neither.
I'll click on it. I'm going for it.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh God, no, stop,
I do
don't.
not
Yahoo
Bad.
believe
News.
that
Who the
shit.
frick watches that? What? I
Oh
didn't
my
say that.
goddamn search history.
Oh,
Doc, I'm gonna have to fire you.
dude, I'm not doing anything.
Whatever.
What
I
a
didn't
great
say
article.
anything.
Very, very well written, guys. Very well written.
You read it for the. You just read it for the articles, don't you?
Me or him?
What are y'all talking
Yeah, no,
about?
you,
Like,
Splicer, you just
read it. I
just
do
read
not
for the
read
article.
Yahoo articles. No. Not even close.
We're
Well, at
gonna
least
take
you would-
BuzzFeed quizzes. I want to figure out what sub sandwich I am.
I stopped reading gaming news even. I just don't really keep up.
Oh man. But so as I said before, what we're going to be doing today is going to be the last part of our separation of the art from the artist discussion, and I wanted to bring a few more people on because the first two were really good, and we decided I guess we were just gonna. I'm not real sure like how much more we can go over with this. I mean, but we're still gonna have a good discussion about it. So there's no doubt about that. As it were, we're gonna wrap everything up with that today. But before we do that, Bonk, you the last time you were on, you were going to a gig, live show in someone's garage. Am I correct on that?
You are right.
And
Oh,
I
man.
have to know, how was it?
It was pretty good. It started raining, but that's fine because we were in a garage and it was summer anyway, so it was hot. And then we just we said, you know what? Fuck the neighbors, and then we just opened the door, which was cool because they can't legally make noise complaints at that hour, so it was fine.
Well, you're evading the law.
Yeah, people were doing cool skateboard trick. They had shirts. I got a shirt, and we went to TGI Fridays.
Oh, that's a nice. I like that place. That is a
They
nice place.
took so long for everything.
Okay, never mind. It's not a nice place.
It was no, it was fine. It was just really funny. The waitress was nice.
All right.
Were you hitting on the waitress, Bonk? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, was she looking fine?
No, we had 12 people. I was at the other end of the table.
I'm having trouble chatting up women.
Well, you have a girlfriend, Wanderer, so that
Women
shouldn't be a
tell me
problem.
that I smell. Women keep on telling me to fuck off.
Fuck off.
And this isn't a bit anymore.
It isn't a bit anymore.
So surprisingly, the cops didn't get called.
Oh no, they did. We were just gone by then.
Oh, wait, what?
Now, that's the fun part.
Yeah, no. So they can't. We started at 5 and ended at like 9:30. They can't make noise complaints till 10.
Okay.
We got you there.
Well, they had been. How many bands played?
3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It was like Townsend was one of them. Then was it like Sauce on the Side
it was
and the other guys?
Side and the Wart.
Yeah, that's the other ones. I think you sent me some of that music. I forgot to listen to it.
Well, at least you
Sauce
got
on the
to.
Side doesn't have any music on Spotify yet. They're writing their thing right now. And the Warps, they have their stuff. I'm not too big a fan on their new thing, truth be told. It's fine, but
It is what it is.
Danny's the drummer now. They need a drummer, and he drums that.
That's
Nice.
usually what drummers do.
Yeah, he hits things with sticks sometimes.
I mean, I hate to burst your bubble, Bonk. I don't know what you thought drummers did exactly, but they drum. So you learned something today, pal.
What the fuck?
Bonk, you know,
I gotta
manage their
Bonk,
taxes.
I need a breather. I need a minute.
All right.
That guy needs to
What?
fucking.
Bonk, you know I love you, brother.
Breathe, man.
Man.
Breathe.
Hold on.
Breathe. Don't cry now, pal. Come on. It's going to be all right.
This is a revelation.
Has your whole world changed?
I don't think I can look at things the same way anymore.
Your life is a lie.
How? All right. What were we talking about?
Oh man.
Holy shit. I've been to the edge of sanity and back again.
Good. I'm in like a rut now. I don't know what to do.
We've all been there.
We'll send Wanderer to give you a hug.
I ain't touching this guy.
Plane ticket?
Yeah, I'm not waiting 5 hours for you either.
Or you make it sound like he stood you up the last time.
Sure.
I told him I was his Uber driver, and
He's-
I had to take the plane.
He says, hey, send me that album, and I did. 100% hasn't listened to it yet. Am I right?
Wait, which album?
The Nouns one.
I've listened to it.
Okay.
I'm gonna review it today. That's what me and Widow said.
Yeah, Wanderer's gonna, because you were coming on, he's gonna be reviewing the two you sent him. Now you sent me Pup.
Mhm.
And I haven't finished the record yet, but I'm gonna give you an overall what I think of it so far. Which I'm gonna go ahead and just give you a little teaser for it. I dig it. I do. I dig it.
Can I? Maybe I should wait.
Check the time, buddy.
It's 3:18.
Time for you to get a watch.
Oh, also, check the episode number. Fucking nice, dude.
I know. When I saw that.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I put that out on
Like-
Twitter. I said nice. I said nice on Twitter.
I was waiting for it. I knew the jokes were
I saw the
gonna come.
notification on my
And-
phone.
And to be honest with you, I'm surprised that
It was
Hatman didn't
me.
say something about it.
Oh man.
Fucking nice.
Okay, nice look.
Like everyone that I told about it, I was just like, nice.
Splicer appeared on the 69th episode. That's gotta be a
yes,
sign.
dude.
That's
It's gonna-
gotta be a
it's gonna
sign.
Bring it back for 87, by the way.
80s. Oh, dude, that's
Nice,
a show.
dude.
Do that.
got 'em,
Put
dude.
mark your fucking calendars, guys.
Yes,
favorite-
the
Yeah.
87th show is reserved for Splicer.
Awesome.
Number 4. Bring it back on
Hell
the
yeah.
4th, please.
You know, on Fallout New Vegas, you get the armor of the 87th tribe.
Oh
So
man, dude, I
the
love that
fucking-
series so much. I'm
The
so
Sanctum
glad.
Sanctorum of the 87th splice.
Dude.
Yeah, the 87th episode. What we're all gonna do is we're all gonna like drop acid and we're just gonna talk for like 8 hours.
Be wild. All right.
8 hours Sanctum. That actually sounds like fun.
I mean, I'm
Oh,
down.
God.
At work. It's Saturday.
I know a guy.
Oh,
Who
really?
knows a guy, knows a guy.
Hey, I'll do a podcast while washing dishes.
Wait.
It's fine.
That
For real.
that's not the guy. That's not the guy from over in South Boston, is it?
No, actually, he's my dorm mate.
Okay. Oh God. Now Bonk's gonna come on. He's like, and like he says that's all he's gonna say for like 2 hours.
They're coming. They're coming to get me.
Did,
They
Did
are
you
living
hear-
in my walls.
did you hear that color? It was so loud, man.
Yeah, you smell orange right now.
Oh wow.
You know how a banana tastes? That's how you smell, man.
Do you hear that? It's blue.
Oh my God.
Dude,
You
I've
gotta
never
smell
heard
the
such a
sound, man.
I've
Bro,
never heard
Going
such a
bonkers.
beautiful color in my life.
That trombone smells awesome.
Guys, don't you know you can hear the blues?
Dude, I was gonna run the game.
You know, this man's got a point.
You can hear the blues.
You can hear the blues,
I guess,
literally.
you know, ow, fuck, I hit my.
Yeah, you can see the blues, you can hear the blues, but also you can feel the blues. Damn,
Damn.
that is deep.
Poetry.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
Wait a minute. Wait, that was a haiku.
I was gonna say that. I was.
Will you stop burping in the mic?
No. This is the burped and burptorum.
Hey,
You
Wanderer.
are vile.
Wanderer's drunk.
No, dude. I've only
You're
got one.
hammered. You're wasted.
Only one beer?
He's
Yeah,
a lightweight.
I had to have
Honestly.
I had to have an extensive break from drinking after like a week ago.
Oh yeah. Allow me to tell that story, sir.
Stomach.
Here we go.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. And Doc, you'll appreciate this. So a few days back, I'm on Twitter at work. It's about the end of my shift, and I see that Wanderer apparently got drunk and was hungover. I immediately messaged him, and this guy is telling me, he's like, I had like 6 pints and a martini and a shot of straight gin, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
No, actually, I'll
No,
correct the record
no,
here. I will correct the record here because you got the amount wrong. I had 6 beers, 4 ciders, 2 shots of vodka,
Okay, you didn't
And
tell me all this.
a martini. Yeah, because I was probably too hungover to remember.
Well, you know, it's all about moderation. And
Exactly.
There was no
and,
moderation.
You know,
And
The
that-
Discord
it's
chat
like
was
the-
sending
it's like
memes
the
in
food-
general.
It's like the food pyramid, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never mix beer and liquor. Never do that.
I always skip beer.
You know, if I'm gonna have one, I'm not gonna have the other.
Wanderer's going Edward 40 hands.
Good God. We're gonna see a picture of Wanderer on Twitter, like drinking a 40 ounce of like Mad Dog and
Mhm.
like
Duct tape both hands.
This man's just
Right.
chugging.
Right. He's got like a paper grocery bag duct tape around the bottle, you know. and then we'll all see it the next morning. I feel like shit, man.
I actually spewed.
Gross.
Like that's like
Why'd
the
you
first
say it
time
like that?
I
Don't
threw
say
up
that.
after.
Oh,
There you go.
Hey, Wanderer, if you're gonna spew into this cup.
Nah, I spewed in my toilet. It
With
wasn't even that
what and
much,
stuff?
but like God, it felt like a little. I felt like a little bit better, and then I had a headache for the rest of
Well,
the day.
that's like the strat people do.
And I told
They
him,
make
I said,
themselves throw up so they can feel a bit.
Yeah,
better.
my friend Chris was like another time, like way ago. My friend was like, dude, just make yourself throw up. You'll feel shit tons better. I was like, bruh, I'm not making myself throw up because I feel great, and also because that's disgusting. And then I woke up and I was fine.
I
literally-
told him what he needed to do was drink some coffee and go and find some greasy food, and he'll be fine. That is the perfect
think
cure. That is the perfect cure for a hangover. It's
I had a cup
coffee,
of tea.
Tylenol, and
You
greasy
would.
food.
You would have a cup of tea, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
mate, because I'm fucking British, innit? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
whole fucking joke, mate. Mate,
I said you
you
were blocked.
don't
Straight to
my
the
tea.
ocean.
You don't my
Bonk.
Oh, shut the fuck up, you Boston cunt.
Bonk.
Listen up, mate.
So he goes super British.
Bonk.
All right.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Bonk.
Huh?
Get him.
Mate. You listen up, you Boston twat. You dump my tea in the harbour. You dump my tea in the harbour. I want you to fish it out, mate.
Icon trying to delete you from like the stream. I tried to like actually get rid of you.
This ain't Discord.
You're trying to hit me.
But I
through the
know.
screen.
I want you out of my life.
I want him gone.
I want you out of my head. The voices, get out of my head.
Get out of my walls.
Bonk is basically saying, "Why can't I wish I knew how to quit you."
Dude, I want to end your task.
I'm about to end this man's whole career.
Shut up. You're banned on Twitter.
True.
Wait,
You don't
what
use
was-
Twitter.
It's
What-
so fun.
Bro, you use Twitter every single
actually,
day.
I opened Twitter today.
Yo, welcome.
Yeah, I know.
Successful.
I know.
Bro, Wanderer tweets like a 40-year-old woman on Facebook.
True. Dude, I follow.
That's too good.
Look, my Twitter is this. I only follow one person.
It's the last blockbuster.
It's the last open blockbuster. And I considered following somebody else, but then I was like, when do I open Twitter to even look at the last blockbuster? It's much funnier to have this gimmick than use Twitter ever, so I don't.
He's got a point.
He does.
Yeah.
He does indeed.
That's my Twitter.
That was the Twitter story.
That's the most I've
Twitter
tweeted
story.
in like 6 months, like recently.
I haven't made a tweet. No, actually, wait, I did. I like responded to something, and then one you said like, "Wow, this guy tweeted something," and I was like, "Oh, you're right," and then I deleted that.
Bonk's like, I gotta draw back a little bit. That's
Now
two
my
tweets
only
in one
tweet
day.
is tweet is a response to Wander responding to me, but I deleted that, so it's just me responding to his response. I think unless I deleted that one too. But I'm not gonna check because then I have to open Twitter.
Lord. I'm not gonna bring up what I've just been seeing on Twitter again because like it's not nice.
I should really mute notifications for Twitter.
Bro, Twitter's wild.
All right, let me go to
Right.
dirt. Ha ha ha.
Oh, yep.
This account doesn't exist. I typed it wrong.
You're so stupid.
Oh my
Tweets
lord!
and replies. Good point. Hold on.
Yep. Good point.
This tweet is
Hold
from
on.
a suspended account.
Wait, what? Oh,
Wow.
you. That's you. Okay.
I can't remember what it even said.
I can. I'm
What
not
did I
gonna
say?
it. You said you were talking to Peanut about his mailbox.
No. I don't
wait.
mean about the suspension. I mean
on that?
Chelsea, you
On
fucking
that?
moron.
Oh, you were just saying like, wow, he tweeted. Because I respond in a chain of something.
Oh, okay, I get it.
And then I
Yeah,
was like, good point, hold on, and then I got rid of it.
I remember now.
Hey,
You
Wanderer,
refresh my fucking mind. Yo,
Wanderer, do you know who this is?
I do. That's Squid. Yo, what's up, man? We can play Phasmophobia soon.
That'd be a fun game.
Oh, Bonk.
I'm
By
down.
the way, dude.
Mhm.
Oh, wait, Splicer, do you have Phas?
Yeah, I have Phasmophobia.
Oh fuck yeah, we got a 4-man then.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
dude,
was speaking
Halloween.
to Squid like the other day, and we want to try and get like because he's having a hard time finding lobbies on Phasmophobia, so we should all get together and play sometime.
Hit me up.
I'm still in the midst of trying to slowly shop for a new system myself. So
I'm not
I
very
got-
good at the game.
10
Nobody-
gigabytes left.
when you whisper.
That game is like, it's just luck if you don't die. Like hide in a corner and hope the footsteps don't come near you. That's the
I
game.
remember playing with my friend. Were we playing on stream? I think we were.
The
Me
other
and
time- yeah,
my friend Isaac, and
Yeah,
like
it was
we
you
made
and
it
him.
back to the van and left.
yeah, and I
And,
died.
like, I almost died
you guys
twice.
you guys said like, yeah, we're going back, and I'm like, huh? No, you guys went back and then said, yeah, we're back at the van. I'm like, huh? And then I died. And then you're like, is he dead? And then you went in and died. No, wait, you didn't die. You guys just
Yeah, I didn't die. I got like super because it was in the prison one.
It got
yeah,
really
it was the
close.
prison.
It was the prison.
Yeah, I got like, I was heading down the stairs and the ghost went into hunting mode, and I crouched down in the corner.
Yeah,
And
no,
then-
I literally watched it walk right up to your face. And then
Yeah, it walked like the ghost walked right up to my fucking face, and then he just stopped hunting. So
Yeah.
like, I literally could have died right there, and Isaac could have got away.
Dude, that
And,
model,
yeah.
the ghost model was so funny. It was just a guy holding like a big tree branch.
Yeah. Dude, the models. in
Are
my
you
game are so
afraid
weird.
of me?
I'm gonna get
I think the scariest ones are the ones that crawl. Those ones are fucking weird.
Dude,
You know the one you locked me in the
There was
garage?
one of those.
Fuck
There was
man.
one of those, and I did. Oh yeah. No, I didn't
Really?
lock you in. I just turned off all the power and then left, and then I still died
How'd you
these
die?
chats are funny.
because I went back in because Isaac was like, "Hey, let's go get his." I don't even know what. I don't even. Yeah, I died.
I remember I
There's
was just
just
like
no way
sitting-
around it. There's just
Yeah,
I was
no way
sitting in the
around it.
corner in the garage, just like saying, "Yo, yo, is anybody here?
I know.
And
I
started, like, rapping.
watched that back, and that was so funny.
I got my neck snapped through a wall.
It was still funny.
It was pretty funny.
Your face is funny, Wanderer.
My friends
Fuck
used to leave my ass too in Paso. Always.
Wow.
Wanderer, could you please turn off the stupid accent we all know you're faking?
All right.
Fine, you caught me.
Hot take: British people aren't real.
It's all a simulation.
It's all a
British people aren't real.
It's all a ploy by big
Oh
soccer.
gosh,
all
that's
right?
like that theory that birds aren't real. That it's a joke, but some people.
I
actually
love
believe
that
it.
theory. It's so funny.
Dude,
Like,
dude.
have you looked into it?
Oh yeah, it's hilariously
It's
absurd.
so good.
Dude, it's like
Birds
the Fallout
haven't
4.
been real since the 40s.
Yeah, and
It's like
apparently
Fallout
the
4 where they're
During
like
the
fucking
Cold
robots.
They were replaced.
Oh my god, dude.
They're
Now
they're
they're
replaced by
birds.
organic robots or something
Yeah.
like that. Just
Yeah, dude, the birds in Fallout 4 are actually spies for the Institute, and they actually watch you throughout the game. That was like a big theory that went on.
This is getting into like Hunger Games and Fallout level.
This is getting like Fallout, Hunger Games, and like fucking I don't know what
the Earth is flat,
Westworld.
Joe.
Yeah,
No, not
Westworld.
flat. The Earth's like there's a discus.
Hey, let's all remember that the moon is a hologram. Okay.
Oh, Squid's gonna be the sanity
a
pill,
big laser.
normal pill provider.
Yeah,
The
so
dream
those are-
normal pills.
Bosnian
The-
warlord? What the frick?
Oh, hold on.
Excuse me,
That's
what?
the chat, isn't it? Oh,
Yeah.
Hold on. I need to open
You
that.
gotta open that chat, bro.
I need to yell it. Yep, it's him.
Yeah, we
I knew
should-
it.
Well,
Actually, Doc's got a good point in the private chat. We should probably start talking about art and artists now, because like we've been just rambling for like half an hour.
Been 30 minutes.
Right. I mean, let's not forget that sometimes the shows start out this way and it's still fun. So
Of course, of
calm
course.
down, man.
I'm
I
having
was
fun.
falling asleep.
Take your normal pills, Wanderer.
Bro, I barely know where Bosnia is.
I wear a mask with a smile.
We can talk about Dream. That'd be great.
Oh, I
I
fucking
don't
hate
want
that
to talk
guy.
about.
Bro,
Dream.
art
I don't wanna
that's
talk
a
about it.
I
great
didn't
thing,
know
though.
anything about.
That's
Dream.
huge for art and artists, though.
I do not like
I
Dream.
guess. But no,
Dream.
his art is just him. He's like that's like.
Okay,
So,
Bonk, you're starting
Squid,
to
don't
sound,
go there.
Bonk,
Squid,
you-
please don't bring up Christian. Please don't bring up Christian. Please. I don't want to talk about Christian or anything related to Christian.
Bring it
after the
up.
last
No, we're
48
not.
hours.
No,
I
no,
can't comment
We
no,
are not
Bring it up.
talking about that.
no, we're not
Oh,
even going to
no.
get into that.
Okay, if you don't,
Okay,
if
so-
we don't talk
wait,
about Dream,
you know?
who should we talk about then?
No, we're
Uh,
talking about Christian, dude. I don't want to talk about Christian.
Let's-
You guys know about what happened in the last 48 hours?
Yes. Okay, but
Sterno,
we're
we
not.
covered this.
It's
we're
awful.
not-
It's
We're
awful.
not gonna.
Nah.
Wanderer. We're not gonna talk about it.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
Um, Okay, so Doc, if you want to go ahead and do your little disclaimer there, please.
The views and opinions expressed in this do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions held by either the individual advocating for them or the show as a whole. We may be actually playing devil's advocate, and you may or may not be able to tell. So the best way to be able to differentiate is to know us and actually pay attention.
What's our ESRB rating?
Play ball.
Peggy
Play
18.
A for adult.
Rated M for mature.
M for mature.
Okay, so now the last episode of this that we did. Now, where did we leave off? Believe we were.
I think the last thing you said was "Peace be with you. Good night."
I just remembered you guys talking a lot about like horrible people, and then you started watching some videos.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah, we ended off on funny weatherman fails. I think.
Yeah.
Wow. It's nice to see everyone pays attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here.
Hey, what about this? We haven't really covered. Most of our last two discussions have really been about like sexual assault or something like that, or maybe somebody's political views. Why don't we discuss more like the guys who get in trouble for violence?
Okay, well, you threw the first pitch there, Doc. So let's hear what you've got.
Okay, so this is only because I've seen a lot of memes about it, but when you look at the Chris Brown and Rihanna situation that happened a few years ago, where he essentially, beat the crap out of her, or you look at like someone like Tommy Lee. I think Tommy Lee's probably a better example of Motley Crue. He has abused several women, like physically abused them. His career has not suffered. And there is this seemingly double standard that people have where it's like Chris Brown versus Tommy Lee. And some people are going to go, well, it's a
Hello,
white
Divine.
black thing, which it could be part of it. But I think the other issue is Motley Crue gets away with a lot of stuff that a lot of other bands, even during their time, could not get away with because it was like, oh, that's just Motley Crue. And there are some things that they admit to in the dirt that you're going, man, at any other day and time, it would be considered like admissible in court for criminal conduct or criminal misconduct. So the thing I'm looking at is like, why does it seem like some artists like Tommy Lee can do some of the most awful things possible? And not just him, his bandmates as well. And then you look at someone like Chris Brown, who essentially does the same thing, but his career suffered greatly. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying that Chris Brown's career shouldn't have suffered. What I'm saying is, why does it seem like some people can get away with some things and others can't get away with the same thing?
I'll be back in a bit.
No worries.
Well,
Could I before you respond? Could I have a couple examples of some of the stuff that Motley Crue's done? Like, if you could say what it
that'd be
was.
good.
Or...
Tommy Lee
Yeah.
he abused, physically assaulted Pamela Anderson at least a couple of times when they were married. There are other cases in the book The Dirt that they admit to. A girl was thinking she was going to hook up with Nikki Sixx, and they swapped out between Nikki Sixx and Tommy Lee. Some of the stuff that they've admitted to in The Dirt is just like it would actually get this video removed from YouTube. It's that bad.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I understand now.
Yeah, and there was one incident where they depicted in the movie where Tommy Lee just flat out punched a woman, and so like you look at the situation between Chris Brown and Rihanna, he abused her and beat her senseless, which was completely wrong. His career suffered, but Tommy Lee basically did the same thing to Pamela Anderson. His career didn't suffer one bit. People were like, well, when's he going to go back on the road? And I'm just going, does that mean that the people who listen to Tommy Lee and the industry elements that support him are okay with that, while those who behind Chris Brown were not? So does that mean that also pop music fans have a greater moral compass than metal fans, which we know that that's not the case, because those of us who've been to metal shows and have heard stories, you look at the mosh pits, dudes are looking, there are guys who are looking out for people. And there was a story one time at a metal festival, a girl had her top pulled down and she was pushed into the middle of where a wall of death was about to occur. And, one fan just came in, he stopped it and said, hey, girl uncovered. Well, somebody helped the girl get covered up and everything. And a couple of guys looked at her and they said, who did this to you? And she pointed the guy out. The two guys looked at each other. They punched the dude in the nose, grab him and throw him in the middle. And then the wall of death continued and smashed him. And so
nice.
It was kind of like that really awesome moment of just justice, served at a metal show. So So we know that like when metal fans, like when heavy metal guys see something like that, they don't take it lightly, and they actually do something. And it's like if a dude steps out of line at one of those shows, you're going to have your ass handed to you. It's not a matter of if or when. It's like it's going to happen immediately, and you just have to know how bad it's going to be. And it's going to be bad, especially if the dude knows what he's doing. So I'm just kind of wondering why it just seems like, though, is it also a generational thing? Because Tommy Lee is from the baby boomer generation, and baby boomers were the huge consumers of Motley Crue's music. Meanwhile, millennials are the consumers of Chris Brown's music. So is it a generational thing? Is it like one generation is saying, okay, this behavior is okay, we condone it. Meanwhile, the younger generations go, no, we are not okay with this. I mean, what are your thoughts on this?
Go ahead.
Before
let's
we answer
start.
that,
I thought
go
Widows
ahead.
was going to win. So
Well, no, Splicer, go ahead.
okay, so as someone who has like been in one of those mosh pits, I was like a wall at a rock fest, like I think it was 2 years ago. I was just trying to like protect the girl I was with from the mosh pit like ensuing behind me, but like it does get pretty crazy in those. So like I can totally relate, and like I totally understood your story just now because it gets pretty wild. Other than like to answer your question or like the question at hand, I still need to think a bit. So someone else go.
Go ahead, Wanderer.
all right, well, so you said it's from Baby Boomer. What kind of like? Give me a rough estimate of like what type of year that was.
Baby boomers were born immediately following World War II up through 1964. So from about 1945 to 1964.
Okay, so because obviously the domestic abuse, that like do we know how long that's been like a crime for as long as anybody can remember?
Dude, even back in the 80s.
Exactly. So he should have got shit for that. Like,
yeah, he did. But in the 80s,
really
though,
bizarre to me that he has not been like locked up or some shit.
But in the 80s too, though, so the domestic violence issue, he hit that one woman back in the 80s. The 90s roll around. It was actually like the late 90s, early 2000s when just the mere accusation for most guys would have landed them in an interview room with a bunch of cops, with a bunch of detectives. And that was
real quick, Doc. Hey, Doc, I'm sorry to interrupt,
Yeah.
but I want to point out what Rick Zella's saying. Yes. I'm sure everyone knows by now that we lost Joey Jordanson. And Wanderer, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spoil one part of your review that I'm going to send you today. I'm going to be sending you a Slipknot record.
I'm excited for it. I've listened to one Slipknot song and it's very good.
Well, you're gonna get an immersion because I'll be sending you their very first record.
Is that the self-titled
That's a
one?
good one. That's a
yes,
good one.
that first.
I've listened to one song of that, and that is Wait and Bleed, and it's fucking amazing.
Okay, well then I'm gonna send you the whole record. Slipknot. I'm more into their older stuff.
See, I love All Hope Is Gone. All Hope
but-
Is Gone to me is like one of their top albums.
Oh no, the first one in Iowa. Those are their two masterpieces.
Mm-hmm.
Those are absolutely two of the most untouchable records from them. Like Iowa took a minute to grow on me, but once I got into it, I was hooked.
That's how the state itself is too.
But Joey was an amazing drummer. I actually was watching a video the other night of it was the Download Festival in like 2004, I think, and Metallica was playing, and Lars apparently had to be rushed to the hospital, and Joey Jordanson sat in and played a set with Metallica. And I'm like, that's fucking badass. I mean, no disrespect to Lars, but you get somebody of that caliber to come and play with you and play with. And I'm going to give credit where credit's due. Metallica, they are in fact legends. So I'm going to, like I said, credit where credit's due. And we also lost Dusty from ZZ Top, the next day.
Well, and he also, I can't remember the name of the band. There was another band like the day before Dusty died. We lost another. I think it was either a drummer or a guitarist from another metal band. So we've lost people who had some pretty big influences 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
He died at 46 as well. It's really sad.
Yeah. I know he had I think some type of
he had a type of a type of multiple sclerosis, and he had lost use of the entire left side of his body at one point. Went to rehab to gain the function of that back, and he had another band called Vimic, and I worked for a company that had his publicist was one of our clients. So when Vimic first came out, I was updating the website of the publicist with information on Vimic. And when I saw it was Joey Jordison, I was like, oh, that's what he's doing now.
But yeah, it's been a sad few days for music, indeed.
Well, as bad as this is going, I hope this doesn't come across as wrong but one of the things I do have to say for Slipknot's sake, I'm glad that when Paul died, he was still in the band, and that took him years to recover from. And
what kind of blasphemy is this?
But
don't worry about it. All right.
But one of the things that
that's almost unholy. Okay.
But one of the things I am glad for is that at least when Joey died, he had been out of the band for a little while, and Jay Weinberg, like they're on their second album without Paul and Joey. So they had some time and distance to where it wasn't like they were dealing with the shock of the loss of another band member. And at least with what Joey had, they kind of know with these things that the life expectancy isn't that long. So at least they had some way to prepare. Whereas with Paul, he died and it was discovered he had a congenital heart failure or some undiagnosed congenital heart problem.
Sorry, that was poorly timed.
Yes, it was poorly timed.
Very poorly timed.
I was looking at something else.
Hey, pal. Hey,
look, give me a break. I was watching one in the chat. All right.
No, you don't get a pass on this one, pal. Okay, not at all.
So, yeah.
So no. Hey, hang on, Doc. I got something to say to this fucking guy over here. So you don't get a pass on this one, pal. Okay, that was ill-timed. I think you should give us an apology.
I'm very sorry to you and to Dr. Cyrus Oblivion, who was speaking at the time of my laugh. And I'm also very sorry to the Wanderer who fucked up in chat, which made me laugh. And I'm also very sorry to Splicer87, who was present during my ill-timed laugh. And I'm also very sorry to whoever you were talking about when I laughed. And I'm also very sorry to the Academy.
And your mom
and my mother.
This is just like the perfect Hollywood /
yeah. That's Bonk's Oscar acceptance speech. No, he's returned. He's giving his Oscar back. That
was better than half the.
He got cancelled on Twitter, so he's got to give it back.
I'd also like to apologize to the last Blockbuster in Oregon. It was all my fault. I bankrupted the Blockbuster industry. I'm actually Joe Netflix. I own Netflix. Who owns Netflix?
It's like I own Netflix. Wait, what's my name?
Yeah, hold on. I just called myself Joe Netflix because I don't know who he actually is. Continue.
Okay.
I was never here.
I accept your apology.
Well, I mean, so okay, so we're going back to the discussion about.
Go ahead.
All right. So yeah, I mean, I can't remember where I was, what I was saying. So someone can in the chat could remind us. But I don't know. So yeah, so whoever put that in there about the generations, that's pretty much spot on. Like millennials, so Gen X is 1965 to 1980. About 1980, and millennials start at 1981, go all the way through 1995. But there is this micro generation that overlaps between about 1978 to 1985. They call Zennials because those of us born within that generation overlap, we have a very unique experience in that we can't really fully identify as Gen X or Gen Y, which is millennials. And so we have a very unique experience. It's kind of a blend of the two. And then you've got the Gen Zers that are like 96 to 2012. And then whatever they're calling this next one, I think in some cases they're calling them Gen Alpha and or whatever they're going to call them. But and so when you look at it, the typically like the older, like the generation that births the next generation, they're supposed to kind of hate the younger generation and accuse them of the same problems that their parents accuse them of. But what's really interesting is Gen X was always ignored by the boomers. And then when the millennials came along, all of the wrath that normally would have been reserved for Gen X was suddenly heaped upon millennials. And, millennials are getting blamed for everything from the death of the cork industry for wine, because millennials like using screw top wine bottles or something. And then they also have we've also been blamed for the death of the diamond industry, because a lot of millennials are like, that is an artificially inflated market, so we're just not going to buy them. We're going to go get other types of gemstones and use them for engagement rings.
Well,
we've been blamed for everything from like the policies that baby boomers actually voted on and enacted. So like some of they're saying like we're killing the economy, we're the reason why the housing market has collapsed. We can't. But then again, too, you look at everything that happened. Like basically the way things work is the reality in which we're living was actually set up about 20 to 30 years prior. And when you go back 30 years and look at the policies that were enacted, the baby boomers, when they were in pretty much the same age that the millennials are now, they were voting for politicians that gave them everything they wanted. So they inherited the most prosperous and best economy from their parents and basically squandered it on themselves. And now they've crippled the millennials, and they're telling the millennials, hey, we just robbed our parents. Now we're going to rob you. And we're going to demand that you pay for all of our stuff. But don't you dare say that, you need student loan debt relief.
Okay. Well, now here's something that we could certainly talk about as far as the topic goes. Someone mentioned Onision. Now,
Yes. Yeah,
granted, I am not super familiar with this
He's
guy.
trash.
I know a little bit, like
White
considering
trash.
like what I've seen. Splicer, are you aware of that whole situation as well?
I am actually not.
Wanderer, I'm sure you probably have a knowledge
I do
of
know
it.
about Onision, yes.
So I'll let you kind of give us a synopsis.
Hold on, I'm just sending Bonk some fan art I drew of him.
Hey, Wanderer, I do want to ask you about what you think about once you get the down low on him, please also.
I'm a boomer. Get off my lawn.
So Wonder, once you give all this information on Onision, please give us your opinion on his meltdowns. Do you think they were fake or not? After
Okay.
Okay, hang on,
Watch
hang on,
cable
hang on,
TV
just
and eat casserole.
hang on, just a minute. Welcome, Divine.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Just doing just fine. Divine is a friend of Sir Hatman's, so
Nice
he
hat.
they are in fact welcome here. So
Appreciate it.
um,
Thank you.
absolutely, Divine is joining us here, going to weigh in on the subject at hand, and you're wanting to start your own little show, correct?
Yeah. I mean, right now we're doing the nitty gritty. I cannot reveal too much of it because we're just barely working on it. But be rest assured, it will come out sooner or later.
Right on, right on, right on.
Exciting.
All right, so Wanderer, go ahead.
Hold on. Okay, so Onision. In truth, I've only kind of done my bits and pieces of research on him. However, what I do know is that he is one of the original YouTubers that started out in very early on, 2006, 2009-ish, and basically was quite self-absorbed, quite, narcissistic in some ways, and this reflected in some of the relationships he was outed in being in, and a lot of these were, for lack of a better word, abusive. He was definitely abusive to some of the girls he was with, if not all of them, and yeah, a lot of them actually could have been criminal cases, but as we've seen recently, that was actually dismissed by Pierce County Sheriff's Department, I think is where he's at. But either way, he's a really fucked up guy that did a lot of music videos and a lot of shit like that. Complained about his channel dying when nobody wanted to watch him after he was outed for being in like basically abusive relationships with women. And yeah, he's just a disgusting freak. And yeah, like I said, the only evidence they could get on him was on a laptop that was delivered to Chris Hansen. Chris Hansen said he would deliver that to the FBI or whatever, and he didn't. So he fucked up the entire thing. So Chris Hansen is I believe, this is just my opinion, this is not fact. I believe that Chris Hansen is to blame for the fact that Onision didn't get a harsher punishment, if not found guilty of something. I do believe that whole ordeal with Chris Hansen and his colleagues at the time, and just everything really, a lot of that was to blame. And yeah, that's kind of all I have to say. But I do believe that his meltdowns, well, it's hard to say because Onision's so self-absorbed and so wanting of attention that I'm kind of torn because his meltdowns could be real. Sure, I'm not one to say if they are or not because I've never really had a meltdown of that size. However, he could also be faking it for attention because he's prone to do that type of shit because he was complaining about a dead channel not too long ago. So yeah, I wouldn't put it past him.
The guy is narcissistic enough, or at least sociopathic enough, to where I think it's possible he would fake that he would fake that. But he's also erratic enough where there is clearly like this loss of his grasp on reality. And so it would take someone professional and not just someone who got out of college or just got their certification as a therapist. It would absolutely take someone who has years of experience and expertise specifically dealing with narcissism or cluster B personality types. I mean, I think he's definitely there. But this guy, I mean, he is some of his, and it's so weird too, because some of his meltdowns I'm watching, I'm going, can this be real? Because like the McDonald's application one, Did y'all see that meltdown?
I heard
No,
of it.
honestly, I haven't. But I want real quick to ask Divine about like what they know about this situation. Like I said, I'm not really all that familiar with it, so I'm learning something today. Uh, so like, what's your knowledge of the thing and what's your take on it?
Well, first of all, I need to give me because I just joined, so I saw a little bit. So if you guys can give me like a rundown, I can give you my full honest opinion on the shit.
Uh, Wanderer or Splicer?
Hmm.
Uh,
Hello?
My only reaction is that's pretty wild. All
here's
right.
the thing. Here's the thing. Just based on what I little bit heard of it, I think in terms of Onision, it's a little bit of both. I've done watches of Tards and many spectrums. Ones that you guys know, some that you guys don't, and it's a little bit of both. I mean, Hollywood in general, there is this type of an image, and it's hard to even distinct where does the person end and where does the personality begin. And you
Like
start
you're
to
talking
see
about, so you're basically talking about the where the person ends and the art begins. Like where's the
exactly,
line? Like where's the
exactly.
line?
Where is the line? Where does it stop? And given what I've seen in the last couple of months, it's already starting to blur into this almost. And I'm not saying that it's been this way in YouTube. This is what I'm noticing as of this point. But it doesn't surprise me because I've been around people from the Hollywood side of things. So when I started to see that happening now a little bit bigger on YouTube, I'm like, interesting. Because some of the tards that I've seen, you know that they're doing it for attention, but then there's like a small part of you that says, is it really all that they're saying it is, or is there something else going on? So you never really know. And in the case of Onision, there is that, you know, high to scale. But again, that's just my opinion towards things.
There are a lot of people that fall into that rut of they're trying to chase the views so like intensely to the point where like their whole personality will change, though they will become their character that they're trying to be just for the views and the possible revenue behind that.
Here's the thing.
Now, go
And
ahead. Go ahead.
here's the thing. If you want a perfect example of this, try to talk about Etika. Etika was a YouTuber who was struggling. He was a gamer YouTuber, as far as I can remember, and he was struggling. If you read his story, he was struggling towards lots of things, and unfortunately, the outcome did not serve him that well. That unfortunately, he's no longer with us. But it just goes to show that Etika it fell into that trap, and I'm only gonna say that if Etika was not spared from this, then you know there is a consequence when you're chasing views that, and then the people tell you, hey, you gotta do this certain thing because that's what's getting more views. Then that's when yourself as a creator, you're like in this little rift and torn. You want to do what you want to do, but at the same time, what's gonna give me the views? So there is that juxtaposition in my perspective. But I think Etika's story is something of a worth to look into, just in my opinion.
Okay, well now that kind of brings up something interesting, the whole like line between the person and the art. And this is something that Bonk and Splicer and I were kind of talking about before we came on the air. And I'm talking about, and this is going to go this is going to go into the subject of professional wrestling, but it brings up the concept of kayfabe. Where where is the fourth wall, and where is it cracked or is it going to break? Because you have to think about it when all of that was going on back in like the since the beginning, and then going into like the late 80s and early 90s, professional wrestlers like had to live their character like 24/7. And then when what is referred to as the curtain call happened, basically like the fourth wall of professional wrestling came down, and people were realizing, hey, this is not real. So would you consider that maybe, where does the person begin? Where does the art
I
begin?
mean, personally, for me, there is some of those elements. You're not the first one who said that. A lot of people have said it in terms of in the platform. I don't know specifically if you can make that comparison because it, you know, you it's very weird. But I do think that there's a shift coming, and there's going to be people and new streamers, possibly myself, who knows, or others that are going to do things not giving a fuck. Like they're no that they're just going to be playing themselves. Because from what I've seen personally, there is some streamers that do the personality thing, but then when the stream and the right dot is away, they become their normal selves. But I think the shift is coming where it's gonna be where you're gonna be unapologetically yourself, and you don't have to do a lot of that, and then basically the money will come or whatever the fuck. Is it fame? That doesn't matter. Um, that's just my take on that.
Bonk, what do you think?
Sorry, I was muted. As far as what art versus artist, or where the line is.
Yeah, where is the actual, where is the line, and what is your take on the comparison to like the kayfabe in professional wrestling? With as far as it connects to like where is the line? Like where does the person end and the artist begin, and vice versa?
Well, with with things like that, with like sports, I'd say the line is closer, like than a musician, because like I don't well
Well, take the comparison like with like a professional wrestler and then someone like Onision, like we were just talking about. Like where is the line?
okay.
Oh, just mention the Undertaker. He played his like part for like 35 years, whatever was it?
Yeah, that's very, very true.
Like he was that guy in public.
Yeah, I never really watched wrestling, but
Oh man,
as far as where that kind of line is, I'd say it just kind of depends on what your part is. Like if you have to be this like in the spotlight big guy, like John Cena is like when people who don't really think of wrestling, they think, oh, John Cena, he's like the face of that.
John Cena.
Yeah. So for that, and it's
But remember, we have to always remember that you can't see him.
yeah. So you can't see him, and
I know this is a serious subject. I'm just trying to lighten the mood a little bit, but always remember, kids, that you can't see John Cena.
You can't see
which,
him, dude.
Which leads me to a quick question: do you think that John Cena is in fact the Invisible Man because you can't see him?
That's an interesting thing. But but that just brings up more questions, such as Halo's on the screen.
just played Halo right now.
We do this sometimes. Like Wanderer will
cool.
he'll be talking and he'll be playing a game or something, and we'll put it up here, and it's a nice little add-on. You know.
I'm also playing a game, but anyway, the line. It just depends on the person. Like if you're in the spotlight, you have to play the part. But if like in the case of that curtain call thing, like they work together. They're it's a weird thing to say, but they're co-workers in hitting each other, and they're normal people still. and they can't do that always. In the case of Onision, I only remember what I've heard from like the Leafy is Here days, which is a dark time.
Sorry, my bad.
No, it's fine. It's a dark time and it's pretty funny anyway. Um, Something about Craigslist prostitutes in Minecraft, of course, but
Well,
like
okay.
no, that's all I know. I don't even know if that's real because I've never looked into him, but I just know he's like some weird guy, kind of weird, and
Yeah, he's a little out there, pal.
yeah, he's a little out there.
I can bring this discussion back to like the YouTube side of things. Since
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
releasing on.
Right.
Wrap it back up. I
so-
don't know what I'm talking about.
So there's two guys I want to talk about. All right. First off, Jacksepticeye.
Oh,
The beginning, Jacksepticeye tried to use an American English accent. So like he literally tried to like be a character as an American because he thought his Irish voice wouldn't be as like nice for the camera. So like in a way you do kind of play it like a different character. Like for me, I'm a Let's Play YouTuber, like just like him, but like you're not exactly you're just yeah. So I would assume his line was literally as soon as he stopped that record button, he was a totally different guy. And you can see that now with this modern stuff where he literally is just himself. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, we have a guy known as Wings of Redemption. Does anyone know him?
I want to say I've heard
I know
that
a little
name.
bit.
So Wings of Redemption was a Call of Duty YouTuber streamer guy, and he still streams to this day on Twitch. But basically, he was kind of an overweight kind of guy, but most people knew him for his raging. Like he would
I know exactly who you're
and
talking
he would have
about.
randomly huge like upsets, like and he would throw his controller and break his monitors and all this stuff.
Oh yeah, I've seen him say, "You people owe me a new controller."
That's correct. Yes, that guy.
Why is nobody coming to my streams?
That kind of thing was
Mhm.
always shocking to me. How do those people get so much money to replace the things they break?
Well, okay, so he got his revenue mostly off his rages. He knew that he would have to like turn chat on to rage at chat just so he could get his revenue. So he would put himself through pain just to get money.
True.
Oh my
True.
god. It was
Yeah.
it's very interesting. The fact that he's still doing it to this day though, like wow. All right. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about though.
That-
that, like it really depends on what you're doing, but yeah, there's your lines. Like in our case, it's mostly when we stop the recording button.
Right. But the people, like, I mean, there are people out there literally that doesn't happen with. Like
Mhm.
it's solid, it's solid, 20, 24, 24/7.
Well, here's what you have to take into account. I do think that for some people, it's playing the character that's not them, and then they flop. For some others, they are themselves, and they're going to be themselves no matter what it is, and you can't even tell if that's them or not. And usually, I say in those circumstances, they're the ones that are doing it right because they're using themselves and they're not giving a shit. You're going to be a successful streamer when you are unapologetically yourself and you don't give a shit about the lady, about the likes, the dislikes, the views, watch time, blah blah blah, all this bullshit. Personally, for me, I do think there's some people, and this is just me, that they project what they want to be, and they show that on the screen. But then when you log off of it, it's like they are their most hateful, their most hateful selves. And maybe this is a psychology thing, I don't know, but this is what I started to notice as well with channels that I've been watching. So I'm not sure if there's any correlation to that, but again, pure observation.
Doc, what do you have to say to that?
I don't know. I'm still kind of like hung up on the thing that we were talking about Onision earlier.
Sorry, I wish I knew more about him.
Yeah, it's because he's one of those guys that I did like once I saw the first video, I was like, okay, this guy's going crazy. I went down the rabbit hole and just started watching more and more, and I was like, okay, this dude is a huge predator. he's one of those guys too. And I also went and read up some information on him. So the guy claims to be. So he did serve in the U.S. Air Force, and he was discharged. He got an other than honorable discharge, which is not the same as honorable discharge, but it's also not a dishonorable discharge. It's one of those gray areas. So basically, he gets to say he was a veteran. He doesn't have any of the problems that comes from a dishonorable discharge, but he also doesn't get any of the benefits that comes from having an honorable discharge. So he can't go to the VA to get checked out, if I'm not mistaken. So, I see people like him. I see some of these others, and there is an extreme amount of predatory behavior. When you look at him, and even some of the stuff that's come out about Shane Dawson recently. I say recently, it's over the last couple of years.
Shane's a good example too.
Say what?
Shane's a good example too.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with that.
So Shane
People love
Dawson
documentaries.
Yeah, he did a lot of documentaries, and he was for probably 10 years. He was very much well looked at, and people
he had a good image.
Yeah, people considered him as one of the top guys on YouTube. So he had a really good reputation until some of the latest stuff came out about him, and then it was. And there was an early point where he could have done some course correction and things would not have turned out bad, but it just snowballed. And then he got involved with Jeffree Star, and it just turned into a complete shit show at that point. And, and so, I mean, with him, it's kind of like people just were like, okay, we're done with you. And they wash their hands of him. But it took people getting sick of his crap to walk away and say we're done before YouTube actually took any actions against him. But yet there are tons of examples of YouTube giving strikes to people. There are plenty of people that we've talked before that I really don't want to mention their names again, just because I'm sick of talking about them. If you've listened to the show for a while, you know exactly who they are, and that's why I'm not going to give them any more. Their names are never coming out of my mouth again on this show. But you look at people like that.
Type in the side chat who you're talking about.
Okay, all right, I will. Let's see.
But anyway, continue.
And YouTube didn't act when people reported their videos. They didn't act when they reported their accounts. But meanwhile, there are tons of other instances where, people who had legitimate criticisms of those individuals, YouTube would take them down for bullying or something like that. And I'm going, these people are doing legitimate things that are bad. They're doing things that in any other circumstance, if they were in person with someone, you wouldn't tolerate them saying that in person. Like if they were at an establishment pulling some of those shenanigans, they would have gotten kicked out of that establishment. Like if I owned a bar or a restaurant and they came in like that, I would have kicked them out and be like, "You're never welcome back." And then I'd have my bouncers wait for them and say, "Okay, every time they come up, if they try to get in, I didn't see anything if I'm standing out there. I am not an eyewitness, and I would delete the tapes. Yes, I realize it's destruction of evidence, but prove I did it. But they, I don't know. It's like YouTube has just been incredibly inconsistent, and Google's been incredibly inconsistent. I mean, I think the biggest thing that happened that we can point to is in the 2020 election. I'm sorry to bring that up again, but Time Magazine did a report where it was big tech, other large corporations, the media, politicians and billionaires all meeting in a room. It was a cabal, and they all agreed to suppress any negative stories about Joe Biden and his family and amplify any negative stories about Trump and his family. So when one of the biggest stories during the election came out regarding Hunter Biden and his computer, which is something that the American people absolutely needed to hear, Twitter decided, hey, we're going to suppress this. And they suppressed, I think it was the New York Times, a legitimate newspaper.
It was the New York Post.
New York Post, a legitimate newspaper. They suppressed the link to the article. They suppressed that tweet and suppressed the account. And it was something that they were reporting in their own papers. And so and Google deplatformed it. They ranked it lower. Also, when Tulsi Gabbard destroyed Kamala Harris in the Democrat debate, she became the #1 most Google searched candidate out of that night. And they had ads. Her team had ads ready to launch right after that. And Google suppressed them, saying they violated their terms of service. She sued Google, and Google said, well, we've got enough money to outlast you through the election, through the end of the primaries. And they basically did that. So you've got, and I think this is leading me to a bigger issue. And I'm sorry to ramble and kind of work my way here. Big tech is a legitimate threat on freedom of speech because they are suppressing someone who was probably the best candidate that the Democrats had to offer. They're suppressing legitimate news stories on their favored candidate. And on top of that, the Biden administration has gone and requested that they've been telling Facebook, hey, these are the posts that we think are bad, so please get them out of here. And then they turn around and they request that companies like, your phone carrier censor texts and memes that they find offensive. All of that is a First Amendment violation in this country. A government agency cannot interfere with your First Amendment or with any of your rights. And when people are like, well, that holds the government to that standard, private companies can do whatever they want to. Well, private companies can't do whatever they want to when they have a government agency saying, hey, do us a favor and censor this. That is equivalent to the government agency hiring a private security firm to go raid someone's house. They're like, hey, we can't send our police force to do it or our military to do it, but we're going to go hire Blackwater to go raid people's homes. That is not legal. That is not allowable. And in fact, that would be considered a high crime and misdemeanor. And any government official that would do that would not only be subject to recall elections and impeachment, but also additional criminal charges, because that is a huge violation. And so the fact that you've got a current presidential administration coordinating with big tech to censor the free speech of individuals, this stuff that we're talking about is just minor compared to the bigger implications at play here. And nobody is doing anything about it. Like, we're talking about it, but just because we're talking about it doesn't mean anything's going to get done, because we have no power to do anything about it. We have to rely on our senators and representatives. So, okay, big deal. You write a letter, you create a petition. What's to guarantee that they're actually going to do their job? The only thing you can do is take them to task when they do a town hall meeting or they do a rally or whatever. You call them out right there, but then they can have you silenced. I mean, it's like, what can we do as the American citizenry? I really see that this is probably a scarier time than we realize.
The censorship thing has been tremendous in this year. Like, you wouldn't even believe. Even before this year or the last, it's been going on for quite some time. And I'm glad that some people are waking up to the fact, but I do agree that more needs to be done because it is getting alarming to the point that there's certain keywords that you can't say without any type of, you get a little message or saying that you're breaking some type of terms of service. It's that bad, and it's only going to continue to get that much worse. And it's horrible. It's really horrible. And given the circumstances of where I come from and the world that I'm in, I mean, it's a frequent basis. Accounts getting shadow banned and all this. It's just horrendous.
Well, yeah.
Well, Wanderer, what's your take on it?
Well, one thing I would
my
like
mic was on mute for some reason. Sorry about that. I've been here this whole time.
Widow, one thing I would like to add to this though is I think our subject matter right now, like where we've been talking about separating the art from the artist, I think it's going to be one of those things where big tech, where people have been very accommodating, separating art from the artist. I think big technology companies like Google, like YouTube, like Facebook, they are forcing us, they are pushing us in a direction where you can't separate the art from the artist anymore. And they are going to enforce it because a lot of the people who work at these companies are moral crusaders. They don't care what your views are. They don't care that, oh, you might like this Michael Jackson song, but we're going to not allow you to listen to it because of what he's been accused of or whatnot. We don't like Ted Nugent's politics, so we're not going to let you listen to his music. We don't like the fact that, they're like, Chris Brown did some horrible things, but so we're not going to let anybody watch that wedding video where the whole wedding party entered into the church to a Chris Brown song. I really think all of the stuff we're coming to is big tech is moving us to a point where we will not be able to separate the art from the artist.
Rest in peace, Dukes of Hazzard.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, my take on the whole thing, I think it's scary. It's setting a scary precedent for the future, and where we're heading. I think there's going to be a lot more corruption. I think we're going to be heading into a very dark time where people will not be allowed to speak. The American dream of freedom is going to be thrown out the window, I think. And
it's not even going to come from the government. It's coming straight from corporations, and that's one of the things I've been trying to point out to my friends is that tyranny doesn't come just from government. It comes from oppressive corporations who've been given a free pass, who get to pay $0 in taxes, and in fact, Google and GE have gotten like a negative tax rate. And what I mean by that is they've actually been able to pay zero taxes and then get more money from the government because of the additional write-offs that they get.
yeah.
Well, honestly, what I think is, honestly, I believe the separation of the art from the artist is completely up to the person.
But big tech does not give you that option anymore.
That's okay. If you
It's a
choose,
bit of both. It's a bit of both.
Well, it can be, but my point is, if you choose to let them do that to you, that's your prerogative.
The problem is we don't
get
a choice anymore.
No, we don't get a choice in this, dude. It's happening anyway.
They're doing it regardless of whether we want them to or not. They're taking the choice from us.
Here's
what the fuck
where I stand on it. Here's where I stand on this. We're already there. We're at a crucial point where you can't distinct who is who anymore. Like, we're already there, and that's what I've been saying in private with some people and just here publicly. The question's becoming, there is going to be a shift. Whether, I don't know when, I don't know how. Probably with me, with my new shit's going to go on. Probably with somebody else, I don't know. But there's going to be a shift where at some point a new formula is going to start, and once that starts, the big tech companies are going to look at that and say that's going to be marketable, and it will be something that they themselves can help, and it's something they're not going to like, but they're going to push it because it's what gets them. The common denominator here is money. It's money.
Yeah.
Big tech likes the big dollars. People like to see the big revenue money in monetization. So at here, it's where the money goes. In terms of Elysian, he's cunt. There, I said it. Carry on.
True.
Splicer, what about you?
I mean, I try to not like tiptoe on the politics line when I talk about things, so it's kind of hard to really put my thoughts into words here. But I think you make some very good points, Cyrus. Like I said, I really don't want to say too much. So yeah.
Oh, speak your mind.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do here.
I understand that that cancel culture is a very bad thing. Like I'm not about that. I'd like to, just keep my own stuff. I like using Twitter and YouTube, but I don't like seeing so many opinions suppressed, especially when there's this thing called the freedom of speech.
True.
Yeah.
It's just it's very strange that people have allowed this for so long at this point. Like, people should be able to say things. They really should.
Well, also there, and then this will be a different subject for a different time. But where's the line on that?
Ooh. That's
where is the line on that? We will definitely do a show on that coming up in the next couple of weeks. So, but no, that's going to be that'll be interesting. Like, we probably won't spread it out over 3. We'll probably try to keep it at 1, maybe 2. But yeah, when it comes to the freedom of speech thing, where's the line?
You're looking at chat right now. I mentioned the Chinese government.
Let me see.
Oh, Rick hits the nail on the head right there. The freedom of speech is going to be the freedom from speech. I mean, that's exactly where we're headed.
I recently come across a channel on YouTube called it's actually called like Lao Y86. It's a guy who used to live in China for like 10 years, and he was like sharing his experiences with the Chinese people and how much he enjoyed China. But then the government had these big crackdowns and stuff, and he like literally almost got disappeared, as they say.
Oh my fucking god, really?
So
he literally had to like leave his wife and child in China for like a while. He like snuck across the border to Hong Kong and then fled the country back to the US. He's a US guy, but like he literally had to leave China, his favorite place ever, just because of the Chinese government not liking him posting videos about how good the people are anyway. It didn't really fit their their shut everything down narrative. Nothing can leave China.
CCP are pieces of shit. Sorry.
Like, these days, I would almost argue that China's as bad as like North Korea in some cases.
Yeah, probably.
Well, all right. We're gonna wrap the segment up on that right there. But we will be working on getting that that show together, as far as talking about freedom of speech and where the line is with that. We'll definitely put a couple of panels together for that, and this one right here will be one of them for sure. So, what we're gonna do right now is, Wanderer, we're gonna give you your time for the week.
Oh, bro, I'm playing Halo. So good. I love.
If it's any consolation, you could leave that up on the screen if you want to.
Yeah, I'll leave it up. I'll just show off my really cool guy that I made. The music is fucking brilliant, though. I love the soundtrack. Okay.
Their main theme is just the Warthog Run theme from Halo 1.
Literally is as well.
It's amazing.
Let me just turn. There we go. Okie dokie. Opening up the sticky notes. You know what time it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I might have.
Yeah,
Oh, there we
boy.
go. All right. So sticky notes are open. All right. So let me just go back. There we go. All right. So today, this week even, we are discussing 2 albums that Bonk sent me that I totally was meant to listen to a while ago, but I forgot to, and it was kind of just like a perfect opportunity, basically. Um, so today we're gonna be speaking about "Still" by Nouns, which I believe is their second album from 2014, and "The Dream Is Over" by Pup. So yeah, Bonk, I'll let you decide which one you want me to start on first.
Well, real quick, Wanderer. Well, never mind. I'll wait till you're done to, because I listened to it as well. So,
Yeah. Well, I suppose we could go through track by track and just say our piece.
well, I haven't listened to, I haven't finished all of it. I'm almost done with it, but I was just going to kind of give an overall thing.
All right. Nice. Nice. Okay. Well, Bonk.
I guess start with Still, and then you two can do The Dream Is Over.
Okie dokie. All right. So I liked Still Bummed, which was their first album, and I was really looking forward to see what Nouns had in store for the next one. So starting off with the first track, I feel as though I failed. Um, as an opener for the album, this one's really great. It was very familiar in style to their other album. In some aspects, a little bit more upbeat. Still Bummed was quite a sad album in a lot of ways. Like it sounded very, very blue, and yeah, it definitely had like undertones there. But at the same time, it sounded like really poor quality kind of DIY, which is what you'd kind of expect from Nouns, and it's really fucking cool. I love that type of style, and it's definitely one of the established quirks. And there seems to be a bit more bass on this one, which is something I really like. Moving on to Soccer Ball, another quite upbeat track. The verse was kind of quieter and I liked it. Reminded me of a blend of like School Bus and Still Bummed, which are both tracks off their previous album. A weird part around the 1 minute mark kind of shook me a bit, and I wasn't too much of a fan of it. But overall, Soccer Ball's a good song. But by the way, it's football. Say it right, football. It is a football.
Gross.
Then we get to Fox Wound, which is the third track. I don't really have much to say on Fox Wound. It was a really nice opening riff and a pretty damn good song overall. Very moody opening melody for Closer, which is the next song. I really like that. Almost atmospheric guitar notes playing in the back. I really like that as well. Definitely gave me school bus vibes. And Closer may definitely be one of my favorite songs so far. To give you a brief look, I suppose Closer, Closer and Daydream are probably my 2 favorite tracks from this one. But moving on to Wreck, I was less of a fan of this one, mainly in mood, and I wasn't really a particularly big fan of the opening part very much. There was a nice part around the minute mark, which had these really washed out guitar strums in the backdrop, and I thought that was a really nice part. But apart from that, I wasn't really too fussed. Ghost Legs reminded me of a great big fuck and how I'm gonna and how I'm coping with it, and yeah, that's a really nice track as well. Little Slugger was very complex for an Nouns track. I thought it felt a lot more kind of written and composed and a lot more kind of complex for a track than I was expecting from a Nouns song, and I really appreciated that a lot. Awesome guitar, weird bloopy sounds as well, which is once again a common thing, and vocals were also pretty damn good on this one. Ski Mask was pretty jamming. I really appreciated that track. Don't have much to say though. Now Daydream. Now I mentioned before this is one of my favorites. Daydream has like a really grungy feel to it, and I fucking love it. The bass is absolutely beautiful. Bass has a lot to play in this song, and it's something I really appreciate. The vocals are pretty damn haunting, and yeah, I really like that track. I recommend. And then final two, I Still Want to Make You Proud. Pretty long one. I think it's around like 8 or 9 minutes. Has a very long opening. Really loved the overall volume and mood of the song, and yeah, dude, that song was really great. And then the last song is "But I Can't Stay Here," and it sounds way too clear to be nouns. Like honestly, it like nouns have had this kind of identity of having a really rough around the edges kind of style to their songs, and this was a lot more clearer quality, and it kind of threw me off a bit. But nonetheless, like, clearer quality is still quality at the end of the day, and like I really enjoyed that. Whether I would have put it at the back of the album or not is up for debate. I don't know where I would have placed it. Maybe at the back because it's the best sounding one, like quality wise. But either way, it's pretty damn good. So I'll say this: while I definitely didn't enjoy it as much as the first album I listened to last year, it's definitely not far off. Like, it's not far off from Still Bummed in its brilliance. Nouns have a very unique sound that is definitely reflected through this album as well as the other one, and it makes for some pretty amazing tracks, and on top of that, some pretty good albums. So I'm gonna give this one a 10 out of 10. It's a fucking great one.
Cool.
Pretty jamming.
Cool.
Yeah. Can't believe you didn't like Wreck.
Yeah, I didn't like Wreck. I don't know why. I definitely liked like I said, my top two were Daydream and Closer. Those two are really good. What's your opinion on them, Bonk?
I need to listen to them again.
Dude sends me an album to listen to. Can't even remember what fucking songs.
I can't remember half. I can remember every song I listen to.
Yeah, you
No,
can.
alright.
You gotta have a database, okay?
You like music? Name every song.
Ever written.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're like metal.
Name every song in your
metal.
playlist. Isn't it like 30 hours?
It's 90
11.
now, actually. It's 98.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me actually get the actual song count up. I feel like it's in the 1.5.
That's it. I'm getting mine too.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's flex, okay?
Yeah,
This sounds like a pissing contest, is what it sounds like.
I can
is-
piss so much further.
I can.
Except
There's
I
so
can't
much
because
musical
his
talent.
songs are just actively longer than mine.
That's not true.
No, it is.
I have like a very big like variation of long and short song. Either
Short
way,
ones are ones I sent to you.
my playlist is 99 hours and 58 minutes.
23 and
And
7.
it has 1.5k songs in. It's
I don't
crazy.
know how much mine has. If I can find.
I've liked 3,000 songs.
See, I have a thing where I
wow.
don't like anything online.
They track you through your likes, man.
Yeah, no, they can't find me, except they can because they can. But like,
So are you saying that you're now turning into John Cena and they can't see you?
The Invisible Man.
no, I'm the Invisible Man. You caught me.
The champ is here.
That's why I've never seen his face, because he's fucking invisible.
Okay.
So now on the pup. Now, Widows, did you listen to this one?
I've listened to most of it. I want to know. I want to hear Bonk's track list time frame. Like
What do you
how
mean by
long it
that?
is. Like how long it is.
Oh, what, on his playlist?
Yeah, the playlist.
He said it was like 23 hours.
Oh, was
That's
it 20?
not-
Okay, I'm sorry. I had a brain fart there for a second. Words is hard, okay? Words is hard. So I have listened to most of this, and I was the first song, "If This Tour Doesn't Kill You, I Will," was very funny. The lyrics were just fun to it. Kind of reminded me of if Bloodhound Gang maybe did a song that style, kind of. but Doubt, Sleep in the Heat, The Coast, those have all been absolutely incredible. I'm very impressed of so far what I've heard on this record, and I'm looking forward to finishing it.
So, did you get up to the coast, or?
I listened to. I started at the beginning, and The Coast was the last one I listened to.
All right, nice. Okay, so
Before you start, I just want to put out there. So I meant to say this before you started too, but I couldn't. So the reason it's called "The Dream Is Over" is because a year before the album came out, the singer got a cyst on his vocal cords, and
oh,
and it
Oh.
hemorrhaged, and the
Oh my.
doctor told him to just give up music. And obviously he didn't. I don't know the full story. I just know that far. But that's why it's called "The Dream Is Over," and why the album is all about like, yeah.
I mean,
is
I
that
can
kind of what,
tell.
like 9 points about.
Probably not that one. I think that's what like familiar patterns and like my life is over is about.
I get you.
Yeah.
Yo, Wanderer, why is your armor not pink?
Because I haven't unlocked the pink one yet.
Oh no.
But can I get this? Oh, is it only
He's-
on certain?
He's being lazy, mate. That's what he's doing.
No, I'll show you where it is on the battle
He's
pass.
being a wanker. He is.
I'm up to 6. So I've got 6 levels right now.
No,
It's
it
at
has
16.
oh god, it has the MCC stuff.
I
Where you
like
go
the
through all
system.
the
I think it's alright.
grind.
All right. Well, let's hear about Pup from you, Wanderer.
Alrighty, let me open up sticky notes. Okay. So now that I have that interesting piece of lore about The Dream Is Over, getting into it. If this tour doesn't kill you, I will, like you said. I thought it was a very amazing opening to the album, to be honest. I thought the vocals were really good. Good guitar, great drums, bass. Overall mood was really good as well. DVP, I thought that was a pretty cool track. I love the guitar riff and the chorus. Apart from that, the song wasn't too bad. It wasn't my favorite, but I definitely listened to it a lot. Doubts, very loud, very in your face. Really love the instruments. Really
Doubts was amazing.
I love that song. It's a great song.
It
Um,
really, like when I was listening to it, like I could just feel the power in it, because I mean it is the music alone was what blew me away about that song.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's so good. I love Doubts. Moving on from Doubts, which, to be honest, is like going over from if this tour doesn't kill you, I will to the coast. I'd say the coast and Doubts probably my favorite ones out of the. But moving on, Sleep in the Heat is the next one. I really wasn't too fond of that, to be honest. I can't put my finger on why, but yeah, I just didn't really like it. The Coast.
I think we lost him.
The Coast.
What am I hearing right now?
Oh my.
Wanderer.
Wanderer? Where you be, mate?
They finally got him.
Rest in peace.
they kicked his door in. They did.
Be the SWAT team then.
Have your streaming
shit.
license, eh?
Where's your streaming license? It's freaking Microsoft kicking his door in.
Where did he go?
I think his mic cut off.
Maybe his mic broke.
Like he's still playing, but
Hey, he's just
we can't hear
listening.
anything.
Wanderer, no.
Somebody message
fix
him on Discord or something.
Oh, there you go. He muted himself. That's what happened, I think.
Oh, what?
Look at the chat.
Bro, you alright, mate?
Oh, this gives me a perfect opportunity.
Bro.
Yes. From now on, when Wanderer gives us a time frame and he's going to be like, give me 2 seconds. And whenever he comes back, I'm just going to go 5 minutes later. And we're going to
Later.
2 minutes later.
Bro, I was playing Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated earlier.
Dude, I played the original of that game. Oh my god, that brings me back.
Never played it before, but my girlfriend got it, and she's like, "Can we play some multiplayer?" And I was like, "All right, let's do it."
Yo, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Game,
That was not 2 minutes.
He's actually early.
Good job.
Oh my god.
1 minute 30 seconds later.
1 minute,
Later.
30 seconds later.
Yeah, sorry about that. We're having some internet issues, so as usual, they
Oh,
barged into my room without asking. But yeah, it is what it is. So,
Wait, what time is it for you?
almost 10 o'clock.
Whatever.
Where were we up to again? The coast?
Yeah.
All right, so we were up to the coast. I absolutely love the mood of this track. Bass was absolutely amazing. Drums were pretty damn nice. Guitar, as always, was amazing. Old Wounds was really kick-ass. I actually really enjoyed it. It was a very big change from the coast. Very angry, very loud. Really loved the vocals and the lyrics that went with it. Guitar was really cool. Bass was really cool. Just everything about this track was really dope. Really enjoyed Old Wounds. My Life is Over and Widows. If you haven't got up to it yet, Old Wounds, you'll fucking love that one. Either way, My Life is Over, and I couldn't be happier. It definitely wasn't my favorite track, but now that you've kind of gave us the hidden meaning behind what that could possibly mean. Yeah, I suppose I could kind of appreciate it a bit more, especially with that hidden meaning behind it. But yeah, it's not my favorite track. I'll give it that. Then we have Can't Win. Love the tone. Really adored the chorus on this one as well. I love some of the choruses in these songs, and Can't Win is one of those. Familiar Patterns is beautiful. The bass was absolutely gorgeous. Has like somewhat of a bass opening from what I remember. Really love the instruments, and the vibe overall was just amazing. So great song. And then we have Pine Point. I'm kind of torn. I liked it, but I disliked it at the same time. I'm kind of neutral. So with that, it had its moments, absolutely, this album. And I definitely think it's a really good one. I definitely go back and listen to it again, and probably listen to more Pup in the future as well. So with that, I'm going to give this one an 8.5 out of 10.
Right on. I'll finish mine up next week. That'll give me a chance to finish the Pup album.
All right, no worries.
I may start it over and just go back from the beginning.
I'd recommend.
But yes, everything I've listened to so far off of The Dream Is Over has been very, very good. And they're a tight band. Their timing is very, very good. It's amazing, actually. All right, Wanderer. Well, I've sent you your next two for next week.
So I have, that's such an epic album name. So we have the self-titled album by Slipknot. I'm very excited to listen to that one because I've already heard a track off it, and I think it's one of the best tracks I've ever heard. And then we have Hooray for Boobies, I've got to agree, by Bloodhound Gang. Very excited to listen to that.
Oh my god, I love that.
Yeah,
boobies.
Oh no, we're gonna get canceled because Wanderer said boobies.
Oh no.
Number 15, boobies.
Chills copyrights it.
Right.
Yo, I got that attachment working on my fucking helmet. That looks sick.
So
Yo.
Corpse voice. We'll get him here too.
But yeah, I Wanderer.
You're repulsive.
Bonk, get him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come park my car in your yard and beat your ass.
Park your car and have it, yeah.
Shit, that reminds me of New York.
Dude, that's so
That was
easy.
so
Just
funny,
don't
dude.
use ours.
Oh no, I went back and was listening to the first episode or the episode that Bonk was on, and when I got to listen to it, Wanderer was talking about internet debates and making somebody cry, and then just out of nowhere, I just go, "You talking shit about the Sox, man?" And Bonk just said, "Yeah, piss about it, maybe." I lost.
Yeah, piss about it, baby.
I fucking lost
That was
it, dude.
so good.
I mean, because it just came out of nowhere. Like I figured he was just gonna say yeah, and then like, what the fuck, dude? Oh, it's so great. If I just need like a little laugh, I just go back and find like little snippets from past shows and I'll listen to them. But yeah, but what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna wrap up for the we're gonna go ahead and wind everything down for the week. This has been a lot of fun. Splicer, thank you so much for coming on, and I definitely want to have you back. We may try to do that next. We may try to do that next week if you can, and we'll talk about your channel and your videos and your gameplay and everything like that. Bonk, you are always welcome to come back anytime. As a matter of fact, when we wrap up, if everybody wants to kind of hang around, we can talk for a few minutes. Divine, thank you for popping in here. You're welcome anytime. You and I will be in touch with each other, and I'll be glad to help you in any way that I can. It means a lot to me that my mentor, asked me to help you out. Because if you know anything about me from him, like I have a lot of respect for him. So.
I appreciate that. And honestly, I respect anybody who is a friend of his. So any friends of his, friends of mine.
Well, I appreciate that. Wanderer, do you have? Are you streaming today or tomorrow or anything like that?
I'm gonna be streaming right after this. I want to show everybody fucking Halo, man. I'm super excited playing.
Nice,
dude. You've been showing it to everybody now, so I mean, what's left to show?
I am showing everybody on my own channel because this is fucking special. Okay,
here's what's left to show. Here's what's left to show. Wanderer's gonna do the stream with no pants. There you go.
I'm actually on my Jedi robe.
Fuck me.
You weren't able to go to the flight or whatever over to play it there.
But now I am.
Oh man, dude.
Fucking playing it like a hackaman.
But we will. I'll be in touch with Splicer about having him on next week if he is free. But Divine, you're welcome to come back anytime. Bonk, do you have anything coming up? Are there any like underground shows and garages or open sewers you're going to go to?
I wish. Well, Townsend.
The smellier the better.
Yeah.
Better out than in, I would say.
Last show is the 10th. Coming up, they're gonna be done.
Like, is it a tour or are they like done?
No, they're done.
Oh, wow.
Yep, all college. So one of them's going to Tennessee. So Danny's still gonna do stuff. He drums in the Warps, probably do single stuff. He's just trying to figure out if he wants to keep doing it under like the same name.
So you're going to the last show?
Yeah.
Well, keep me up to date on like the online store because I still want to try to get a shirt or maybe a record or something.
Yeah, he's working on that.
Well, I was actually going to say, man, I'd love to maybe get a couple of them to come on the show sometime and talk. So if you want to talk to them, maybe we can make that happen sometime.
Yeah, I'll talk and see.
All right. Doc, you got anything you want to say before we close out?
No, I had fun, y'all. Enjoyed the discussion.
All right. Well, everybody, we will be back next week. I'll be making the announcement of who will be coming on with us in the Discord and on Twitter as well. So be watching that. I do want to thank everybody who came into the chat today. Rickzilla, Squid, Sterno, Hatman was, of course, lurking in the shadows. Lucifer also showed up as well. So we have, and it has, in fact, been another another great gathering here today. So we will see everyone again next week. Once again, 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. UK time, and we will be back then. So until we see you again, my friends, as always, peace be with you.